YouTube, back with another video. I wanted to get into this topic, why your flesh is not bad. So let's get into it. So before I get into this video, I just want to make a quick disclaimer that not everybody is going to be at the same consciousness. Not everybody is going to understand this message. And if you do, if you have ears to hear, you know, let it be heard. And I hope that, my message pierces clearly without confusion and into your mind. But to get to this point of this topic, of this discussion, um, you have to have done the inner work, right? So a lot of my topics here that I talk about on my channel, I talk about things of doing inner work, and then I kind of talk about that other side of after doing inner work. So I kind of want to show people where the state of mind that I'm at. So this message might not be for you. It may not be for you. But you might, even if you do listen to it, you might understand some things that I'm saying. So I don't want to undermine people's levels of where they are. And I don't even want to undermine my own message because, this world is very interesting of what it does. And, I believe that any message can meet you anywhere that you are inside of your life. It's just, there's no cap on placing on this world and what it can do, and there's no limits on it. So I'm gonna get straight into it. So why your flesh is not bad, a lot of people, I believe, when they're at a certain level of consciousness, they have this concept of this is good, this is bad, and they don't really get to understand what they're actually working with. So once you start to understand who you are as a human being, once you get to understand your issues, your problems, once you get to understand your body, and even when you get to understand the world at large, you have a greater sense of consciousness of how you move and how you interact with things, and how you view things, right? So the reason why I say that your flesh is not bad is because you have to understand there's certain things that your body requires here on this earth plane. There's certain things that it just requires. Now, I believe that inside of life, a lot of times what happens is that because we become so misaligned of the true function of who we are, the flesh kind of goes on this, it kind of goes out just eating whatever it wants to. And it's not that it's it's not that the flesh is just like, oh, I want to eat everything because I have these urges, and I'm devilish and I'm evil. That's not really what it is about. The thing is that we place titles on things, and that just throws you into a different construct of life. But when you understand that there are certain things that your flesh requires and it needs in order for it to move forward, your mindset starts to shift, right? It's just that a lot of times when your flesh is out there and it's misaligned, and it's eating off of just anything, usually within this world, because this world is so distorted, everything, the things that you're feeding on is always going to be on a very like if there was a scale, right? I'm gonna draw it here. If there was a scale, right, and this is the balance is here, right? I would say that the things that your flesh is feeding on, especially in this world today, everything is never the food that your soul needs, which is here, it's never really getting this, right? It's never really getting this balance of soul food because the world is so distorted, right? So usually the soul food of this world is usually on it's usually on the far spectrum. So it's usually far out left or far out on the right. This is where usually the world's food is, the soul food. Once you understand this, things get a little bit better. I think there's more to it. Sorry, guys. Now, I can talk about what is it that your soul, what is the, I can get into a different video about basically what the soul food is, but I'll do that for another video if people like this video and they want to understand more. But your flesh is not bad, and you have to feed it every now and then. You have to feed it. This concept can go into many constructs, and this is why it's good to read. I think it's really very important to read different mythologies and different stories, different backgrounds, right? Instead of just understanding the constructs of, our religious point of views and things like that. Like, I have a video out there about Blade. It's one of my first videos, and one thing I talk about inside of that video is that one thing about the story of Blade, the Marvel movie, is that Blade is a vampire, right? And Blade, one of his things is that he's a vampire, but he's not like the other vampires, right? So he's called the Daywalker because he can walk out in the daylight and at night. Other vampires can only just walk outside during the nighttime. Now, what do vampires need in order to kind of replenish themselves? They need blood. They need blood, which has, a certain vital nutrients for them to basically survive. There's a lot of deep things that I can go into this, but I'm trying to just stay very surface level of right here. This can go into many, many different directions, but I'm really just staying right here with this concept, right? So, Blade, if you watch the movie, one of the things is that he knows he needs to drink blood, but he doesn't do it. Instead, he creates this certain type of chemical, some type of medicine for him to sustain himself, so he's not quenching this thirst for this blood, because the vampires need blood, because it causes them to, if they don't get the blood, then they become weak, and they basically kind of starve themselves, right? So there's a point at the end of the movie where the first movie, Blade, he actually drinks the blood of basically this girl that he's basically running the scene with, and she offers herself to him, and he drinks the blood and from her. And when I viewed this concept inside of that one scene, it was kind of at that point he kind of accepted who he was. and when he drunk the blood from the woman. And you have to understand that what I'm trying to kind of tie this into is that when you start to recognize the things that you need on this earth, to be able to actually survive or sustain yourself or to move forward, things become better, right? And you kind of actually find now. I can go on for days. There are certain things that you can feed your soul. Excuse me. You can feed your soul different types of things, man, to get you by. But once you start to find the high level, high vibrational, uh, soul food that you need, for your flesh, things become better. Things become way much better. And you start to thirst for those high level sources of soul food, right? So you have to, this is I believe, man. Man, I'm gonna leave you guys with this, but I believe that there's hidden knowledge, and there's hidden things that we possibly don't know about, that I believe that these higher leaders, these higher people, they know exactly what these high level source food are. Now, I'm not talking about food as in, physical things that we can eat. Of course you can use that construct to imagine what I'm talking about right now, but there is other high level soul food out there to be able to nourish your soul to reach its full potential, and to actually get the best outcomes out of yourself. And once you understand that your flesh is not bad, right, you start to you this is one of the biggest things I talk about, is that this is the first foundational thing that you need to do when you're on your journey, is that you have to learn how to have self-love. You have to man. It's probably one of the this is one of the basic things that you can give yourself. And this is one of the basic soul foods, I would say, that you as a human being can nourish yourself. You can heal yourself with. You can heal yourself with love. Soul food, which is, to be honest, that is the highest form of soul food, is love. Is love. And there's a lot of people who are starving for this soul food, which is actually love. A lot of people don't, a lot of people don't understand it. Some people don't know what to look for, because they're constantly just eating whatever they're given, right? They're eating whatever is put on their soul plate. They'll take whatever. And this is why it's important to, when it comes to soul food, I'm going to leave you guys with this, but this is why it's important, man, to shop around. And when I mean shop around, if people understand my metaphors, if people understand, don't take what I'm saying literal as in shop around, but what I'm saying is you need to roam this earth and try different things to be able to understand what your soul needs. You need to be able to shop around, roam around, and figure out what it is the highest level of soul food. And I can even depict soul food as in the concept, the construct of actually soul food, the Southern food, right? If you understand what soul food is surrounded by, right? The first thing I think about when I think about soul food, what is the first thing you think about? I can tell you the first thing I think about when I think about soul food is Southern hospitality. It's like those two just connect. You think soul food, you think Southern hospitality. Like there's nothing, I'm telling you, man. Think about it. Soul food. I'm deconstructing the codes. Soul food. What is it inside of, you can think about soul as in soul food, as the soul of your inner self, but then we can talk about soul food as in the Southern food, which is connected to Southern hospitality. What is soul food as in the Southern food that is why is soul food, which is the Southern food, is connected to Southern hospitality? Why are those connected, right? There's something about Southern hospitality that connects to soul food, right? It's not just about what you eat. It's not just about what you eat, right? It's not about what you eat, you know, and once you understand these concepts, these constructs, you know, the things that your body needs, man, whether it's pleasure, whether it's, you know, touch, you know, I can talk about, you know, real quick about even people look down upon sex or down upon, you know, pleasing yourself or all of these kind of concepts, right? But once you get to a higher consciousness, you kind of actually see that what is it that your soul really longs for? Your soul longs for intimacy, 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 into my sea, into my sea, which is, sea is the consciousness. When you get into, and when you get into intimacy, right? When you get intimacy, it's one of the highest levels of soul food. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso. Right? We long to be loved, to be touched, to be held, to be nurtured, to be caressed, pleasured, warm kisses, talking beautifully over our body, our mind, our soul, to be fed nourished food. Not just nourished food, but food that is handled by beautiful hands with love, with care, with laughter, with family that's inside of the atmosphere, blessing upon the food. And I'm not talking about praying to a entity or praying to some type of God. No, I'm just saying you're praising the food over the positivity of the community of what you're gathering here of pure intimacy and pure embracing genuine relationships within the people that you're with, genuine relationship with the food that you create, genuine relationship with when you place that when you're touching the food and you put it into your mouth, and the saliva creates before it even touches your mouth. And once it touches your mouth, the chewing, the swallowing, the digestion that goes into your stomach, the acids that break down that food, that then breaks out into your bloodstreams to supply energy into your cells, to be able to give you function, to be able to move out, to move, to be able to run and frolic more with the life, the earth, the grass, the trees. That is also going into that same process. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It makes you want to go out and and uh and kiss a tree. It makes you want to go out and kiss the grass. You want to have intimacy with everything you touch. It's almost as if you want to have sex with anything you touch. You want to have sex with the sea. You want to have sex with the sand. You want to have sex with the tree. This is what tapping into other things is, as in sexual energy, which is actually one of your highest forms of energy. Highest form, but your flesh is not bad. It's just that we're digesting the wrong foods. So I hope you guys like this video. Peace and love. I hope that you do find, soul food, and you do get that Southern hospitality that you need. So please, peace and blessings to all of you guys. Love.